So today is update day. All platforms will be down for maintenance, and for PC it will be at these times. We will be getting a patch with a few minor changes. It does come with a whole new code branch, so the patch might be a bit bigger than normal and also have some issues. They usually do this before they're coming out with a new module so that they don't have these issues during that module. So there'll be new changes and things that are coming, but not actually be like live during this patch. Just be there in the background and the code is there to support those new changes coming. And if there's any instability, then people will experience it now rather than when the new module comes out. So if you find any issues, be sure to report them on the forums or the Discord server. Other than that, just some very, very minor tweaks here. So vocat space, a fix with some of the repeatable animations, with the queues, a change so that you can't be split into more than 2 groups in 10-player content. And then the mount power Space Guppy school mount will now have a 15 target cap up from 8. And this is what I already tested previously in this video where I covered like the best mount for multi-target damage. And we did find the target caps for nearly all of the mounts that are available. Some I didn't because I didn't have them. And yeah, the Space Guppy school mount was at 15, where it was reported to be at just 8 when this lockbox was released. So that's a nice improvement, definitely making that mount to be one of the best to use currently in multi-target. However, be aware, the devs did make an official statement after I posted that video testing all those multi-target mount powers, stating that their general philosophy is that multi-target powers should have a max target cap of 15. This means any of them that have over 15 will get decreased down to that. Meanwhile, powers that hit less than 15 targets may get increased up to that. So that's quite a substantial amount of the different mounts that don't actually have 15. There's actually like only one I could test there, which was the Space Guppy school mount, which only had 15. Again, you can check more details in the video here. It's all there. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the patch notes. However, they may have changed one thing that they didn't put in the notes, and that is with regards to these protectors' bounties. Now, the first time I opened 6,000 of these on the previous server, we were getting these balance and precision insignias, which are exclusive to the Men's Brands campaign, and I found that a little bit odd. You can see they're just here, balance, precision, and even people were getting rhythm, and they still are on the live server getting these 3 different insignias. You can check the auction house prices of those and they'll definitely have dropped in price. Even just insignias in general, look at the price of legendaries and they're down to like 150,000. So getting powder has never been as cheap before. Be sure to take advantage of this if you need any. And if you've missed out on this Jubilee event, well, yeah, you can still take advantage of it by the cheap prices on the auction house for now. But as I was saying, this patch most likely comes out with a fix to that, making it so that those precision, balance, rhythm insignias no longer drop. And that's what I was experiencing when I went like a week later to open another 6,000 of these on the previous server. The previous server had a bit of an update, which is, yes, this update we are seeing now. So we will very likely see the removal of those insignias dropping from here. We opened 6,000, this was our results. We opened another 6,000, again, there were our results. No balance, no precision, and no rhythm insignias. So I would recommend, if you still have some bounties, like I've collected over 9,000 here, that you do go ahead and open them. I've not opened a single bounty on this character. To be honest, I should have opened like 1 per day, but to get the figurines, but alas, we now have this many to open, and I'm just going to do that and see what kind of loot we get. I'm hoping we get a decent haul of insignias and coal motes. That's the main reason I done this event. Also, there's all of that renown, which I'll need to spend on majoritively just getting lunch boxes. That'll give me more than enough event food to last me a few years, probably at this point. Yeah, I got over 9,000 of these bounties this year, and the previous year I only got like 6,000. Definitely put a good few more hours in here. One thing I worry about is inventory space. This character doesn't exactly have a whole lot. Oh, and before I forget, I better leave my guild, because I am getting those feasts and vouchers, which I'm not a fan of. I do not need any of them, and half of them I can't even donate to the guild because they're always full. About halfway at this point, 4,500. We did get 12 coal motes already, which is actually very lucky. And you can see the amount of insignias there. We're at that 6,115 as we usually are with my other tasks, and this is what we're getting. We did get 13 coal motes, which is pretty good. And then, yeah, all of these insignias. Let's continue opening the rest of them. So there we go, 9,400 opened, and this was all of our loot. We got a total of 23 coal motes, nearly 5 stacks of preservation wards, and then all of these insignias. We'll check out how much dust we got in a minute, but on top of all of that, we got 1.187 million renown, which we will be spending mostly on lunch boxes. And yeah, all these hospitalities, which I don't know if I'll be able to open all of them this year. I did not open a single one last year, and so we might go ahead and do so this year and share them with somebody who has got a similar amount of them and see what kind of drops we're getting and if it's even worth to spend your time on them. But yes, this is a massively profitable event. Like, you spend a whole bunch of time, just 1 week, and like 23 coal motes. Not a single event allows you to do that. The appointment events let you get 1 coal mote after 3 weeks. Okay, just 2 weeks, I guess. You get the token. But still, there's no other event that allows you to spend that little time to get this massive value. 23 coal motes isn't even the biggest deal there. The biggest deal is this many legendary insignias. It's a crazy amount. All of this collectively is probably worth like 15 mythic insignias. And 15 mythic insignias are like 2 million each. That's like 30 million. So if I include then the coal motes, I probably got like 40 million worth in this event of Astral Diamonds. So yeah, you really should be taking advantage of this event if you're particularly a free-to-play player that has spare time on their hands. But again, you'll have to wait till next year because this event is pretty much over. 2 hours and 20 minutes left. And yeah, all of that renown, I'll be spending it mostly on lunch boxes. Thankfully, you can buy a stack at a time, spending 15,000 renown, but that 15,000 renown barely makes a dent in buying this many. It's still going to take a while. At least it's a lot easier than last year, where you had to buy them one by one by one. Other than that, what would I spend my renown on? Well, I can of course just grab myself this throne, why not? Bounty character, okay. We can buy some fashion if we want. We don't need the Neverwinter hand, I got that last year. We could buy some drummers and sell them down the road, and that's about it. I'll do the rest of buying it later. But make sure you actually do spend your renown, because that all disappears within like a week after the Protector's Jubilee, or at least by the time it's next year. Checking my like year-old Jubilee characters, and we can find they have 0 renown and 0 figurines, which clearly means both those currencies expire. Like, you can open one pack just right here, you get a figurine, you get a renown point, and then they go in that section of your inventory. So both these currencies will expire. Make sure to spend them while you have them. And we should be able to get a last chance vendor who should be just sitting at this pillar for 1 week, but no promises. I have not got actual confirmation from the devs that that will happen. So I will spend all of that, and the figurines, we can probably get a whole load of them through these hospitalities, and I'll cover them in a video if it's even worth doing them. I don't actually want to convert all of these insignias to powder like right now, because leaving them in their state, they're unbound, you can always sell them, so there really is no rush to convert them, so I will not do so. If you did want to sell them right now, well, I would recommend just waiting, because you look at the price of these insignias on Legendary, and yeah, they're like 150,000. They're pretty cheap. Like these used to go for like 250,000 before this event. That also means if you don't have these insignias, you didn't farm this event, now is the time to purchase them if you need them. Pretty cheap insignia powder, and otherwise just legendary insignias to kit out your character. Having copied the character over to preview, I now can go and convert them all to powder here, and we can actually see what we get. And yeah, we did get like a rhythm insignia there, which is one of those special ones. Convert all of them, including the legendary ones, and yeah, we got 35,000 insignia powder. Just upgrading a legendary insignia to mythic, it costs 2,500, which means we obtained like 14 mythic insignias worth of powder. If that is any new player doing that, I would be delighted with this event. That saves you millions and millions of astral diamonds. So that's it. The news with today's patch. The heads up to make sure you spend your renown and your figurines, and ultimately, yeah, what I got from this event. Very profitable. Very happy with the time invested. Totally worth it. 23 comotes and like 35,000 insignia powder. On top of that, more launch boxes than I can ever even deal with. Thanks for watching. A special thank you to all these channel members, and we'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.